Welcome to today's to Ruse. I'm Lazarus. This is a new side quest for me. I remember hearing Ricky on Last Word on Spurs talking about how we don't really choose to support Spurs. Spurs choose you. And that was the case for me. But the peculiar thing is that it happened twice, and I'll just basically explain how. So my dad is a big Spurs fan. Spurs takes up a big part of conversation with him, and he first became a Spurs fan when he came here in the early 1980s. So he came from Nigeria, and I think he got here around 83, 84. He came and he was living, I think he first lived in Colindale. And I remember him saying to me that he didn't really want to, he just wanted to be he wanted to be different. He didn't really want to support all the teams that they were all supporting. And at the time as well, there was a Nigerian international playing for Spurs. His name was John Chidozie, and that kind of was what drew him to Spurs.
They might do rather more than that. Crooks, Chidozie unmarked centre-forward position. Will he play it at the right time? He has. It's Chidozie who's gone wide and scored. What an unpredictable game football is. Spurs clear off the line at one end and score at the other within seconds. Garth Crooks set the play up there. He made it possible with that winning of a loose ball and the break. The precise pass at the right time to John Chidozie, who went wide of Mervyn Day and pushed the ball into the net in the 73rd minute. Spurs take the lead, but Aston Villa supporters must be reflecting that only half a minute earlier, Houghton had got the shot off the line from Walters.
Anyway, once I was born, my dad wasted no time in trying to make me a Spurs fan. My first memory was of Spurs, watching Spurs. I remember diving on the living room, on the carpet floor.
Goal, Jurgen Klinsmann! What a great home debut, and he dives in celebration. A magnificent goal by Jurgen Klinsmann.
However, this is where the story goes a bit awry, you see, because my mother is also a big football fan, and she was also a football player at the time. In the 90s, she played for Barnet Ladies, and at the time it was nowhere near as big as what women's football is now. My mum was a United fan. My mum is a United fan, Man United fan. And she became... Anyways, I won't go into the United connection, but...
Spurs does crazy things to people. It does. You put that club into any sentence or any issue, and invariably they all come out and try and diminish as much as they can. They love it. Oh, they love it. You love it. So it does crazy things to people, mate. I love it. Bring it on.
The long story of it is that I think I went over to United, probably glory hunting, you can say, but it was less. But I would say that it was more to do with me moving schools, because I moved to a new school at around about 7, 8. At the school before, one of my friends, shout out to him if you see this, Hope you're well. He's a Spurs fan, and so is his dad. And I remember specifically that it was one of the only, like, his dad was one of, and his parents in general were pretty much the only parents that my dad ever got on with, because like my dad's he's a bit of an introvert until he's like into his music and stuff. But I think what happened with me is that my mum took me to Old Trafford, and with one of my like family friends as well, and they all supported United. And I think once I went to Old Trafford, that was probably that was when I made the choice to be a United fan. I wish my dad had taken me to White Hart Lane. I reckon genuinely that if he had taken me to White Hart Lane before that, I would have stuck with Spurs. But I totally get why he hadn't done so. You know, obviously being here in the 80s and having the prior knowledge of how unwelcoming a place football could be for, you know, people who just come from Africa. I totally get that, why you wouldn't want to go or have a fear of going. So yeah, I get why my dad didn't take me to White Hart Lane. I wish he did. And I really wish he did, but that wasn't to be. Anyways, when I went to uni, the first person that I met at the bus stop, if you're watching, I hope that you're watching, or I hope you come across this. Anyways, funny thing was, he's born in Manchester, that came down and chose Spurs, and it was and obviously vice versa with me. But yeah, from then, you know, like we always talk about, you know, each other's teams, and one thing I always notice is that lots of people who I met who are Spurs fans, I tend to get on with them for some reason or another. Fast forward to 2018, I decided to stop supporting Manchester United. For a lot of my life, and most as a teenager, I've never really felt like I fit in. Certainly didn't feel like a Londoner. I always dreamed of sunnier climes further away. Manchester. I got my wish. Studying and then working in Leeds exposed me to vitriol towards Man United like never before. Music and nightlife in Manchester showed me the rivalry towards Liverpool ran further than the football. Were noisy neighbours miles away from me, or were they always down the road? The more the North accepted me, the more I accepted I'm from north of the river.